equity, privacy rights, bodily autonomy, health care decisions, freedom to choose, reproductive rights, basic civil rights. All those are euphemisms for she dies.
If you guys enshrine Roe v. Wade, the baby dies. This is what this feels like. It feels like a fucking hostage situation. What's going on here? Dude, this is now my favorite Republican.
Chief Justice of the Supreme Court called it a betrayal of the court. That leak sparked protests all over the nation and in Washington, D.C., but not because 2 centuries of protocol in the Supreme Court was violated. It was because the court dared to say that when the Supreme Court ruled in 1973 on Roe v. Wade, it made a mistake. In the draft opinion that was released, it stated that the opinion of 1973 exceeded the constitutional boundaries. For 200 years, legislatures determined when life began.
No Sinn Féin today? Oh, fuck, you're right. Yeah, no Sinn Féin today. Sorry again. We'll have to do it Friday.
1973, the court determined that states cannot protect its youngest citizens of their state and created a new standard called viability, a standard that had no statement in the Constitution and no statement in federal law. They literally created the viability standard on the spot. The draft opinion from February of this year states that that should not have been done in 1973, and that the people in each state and legislatures should determine when life begins. And they should have that decision based in law. Apparently, this body, including the Democratic majority, agrees at least with the basic finding of the court's draft decision, because the court says these issues should be settled in legislative branches, not in the court. And so today, a week after that draft opinion is out, Senator Schumer has called up a bill to actually vote on Roe v. Wade. And not just vote on Roe v. Wade, vote on a very simple decision. When does life begin? The real question that comes up is, when is that child a child? Because in the most simple of questions...
Yo, that's a fetus? That's crazy, man. That's a big-ass room. They got toys and shit? My God.
For those 2 little ones, which I know, only a short time before would have been in the womb. So the simple question that this body is dealing with today...
Another one? How many pictures of these kids does he have? I'm sorry.
...is pretty straightforward. Who gets to decide whether she lives or dies?
He just keeps bringing out bigger and bigger pictures of the baby. You can't even fit him in the room.
Who gets to pick that?
Well, you can't abort it now. It's a baby. It's like out. It's walking around. Like, nobody disagrees that is a child. Okay, but when the sperm cell hits the egg, that is not the same thing as that. And saying it is an insult to my intelligence. And saying it is an insult to my intelligence.
I think she should live. And
wow, Schumer thinks she should die. This bill would kill this baby. I'm sorry, I just want to see him just straight up go like, this bill would kill this baby behind me. If this bill passes, this baby will die. It will die. There is a collar attached to this baby. If this bill passes, it will do the first ever post-birth abortion to this baby. It will die. Just at this point, you put so many strawmans out there, might as well.
I think she should live.
Wow. Everybody clap. He doesn't want to kill the baby. Everybody clap. Bernie should get up there. I have a different perspective on that baby. on the baby living question. I am voting for the bill that will kill the baby. Come on, man. This shit's ridiculous.
And for that simple statement that I believe she should have a chance at life, I've been called a totalitarian radical extremist.
Dude, this is so retarded. Oh, sorry. Not myself. I don't use that word. So he's literally saying because I said that this baby should not die, I was called an extremist. That has nothing to do with it. Nobody is saying we should kill this random fucking baby, Mr. Senator, okay? Nobody is saying we should kill babies, okay? Like, go out there and just start machine gunning. Nobody's gonna take that baby and kill it, okay, Mr. Senator? Nobody thinks you're an extremist because of that. People think you're an extremist, right? Because you call this the same thing as that, right? This is the problem, Senator. This and this are very different. These are two different things. Two very, very different things. And they should be treated differently by the medical community.
Because I believe her life is valuable.
No, but damn, there's a provision in the bill that's specifically like, this baby sucks. We should all get rid of it.
Upside down world do we live in? When people who believe children are valuable are the extremists, are the radicals.
Well, I don't know. Is the baby in the Azov battalion? Have we checked? Like, what's the background? Dude, if this baby is such, like, if people really want this baby to die, like, what did this baby do to piss off so many people?
Are the totalitarians. The day before Mother's Day, the headquarters for Concerned Women for America, a pro-life organization who speaks up for the millions of women who believe children are valuable, was attacked.
Speaks up for thinks children are valuable. Planned Parenthood's like statement, their quote for their organization is "kill the children." That is the side quote. It's in the fine print. It's the tagline.
And vandalized.
Vandalized. Wow.
On Mother's Day.
Let me be clear. If he wants to get into this, we can talk about the many times people in this country have been fucking assassinated, the bombings, the fire bombings, the killings from the pro-life community, right? The pro-terrorism community. The not saying all of the pro-lifers are terrorists, but I'm saying that terrorism from the pro-life anti-choice movement is gigantic in comparison. There's no precedent for pro-choice terrorism. There just isn't.
Mother's Day. Just let that soak in for a minute. On Mother's Day, someone tried to burn down a pregnancy resource center in Wisconsin that provides baby formula and baby clothing and diapers to new moms and provides ultrasounds to expectant moms.
Wow.
That facility they attempted to burn down, and then they spray painted on the wall outside the building, "If abortions aren't safe, then you aren't either."
Wow.
Instead of that being condemned by the media.
Well, it's like, that's bad, like, obviously. But let's not pretend that this is like, it's like missing the forest for the trees? What's the word? What's the phrase? I can't think of it.
A journalist from Rewire saw the news story on the attack in Wisconsin and immediately tweeted out, "More of this. May these people never know a moment of peace or safety until they rot in the ground." Also on Mother's Day, protesters showed up at Catholic churches around the country to protest the Catholic churches stand for this little girl.
Dude, this is what's up with this girl? What did she do? What due that somebody wants to kill his baby? What did this baby do?
And for life.
I'm starting, I think I'm starting, due to how much people are condemning this baby, I'm starting to be maybe on the pro doing something about this baby. I don't know what. I don't know if I don't think I'm an extremist on this issue, but like I feel like there might be something going on here that I'm not being told.
Protesters also showed up over and over in the last week at the justices' homes to chant on bullhorns and to threaten the justices because they dare to follow the Constitution.
He means protest. They protested outside their homes.
A CNN commentator tweeted out, "Concrete barriers being put up around the Supreme Court. Now we just need to lock them in there and keep them away from us. Cut off their internet access so they can't send us any more opinions based on pro-rape judicial theory from the 1600s. I've heard it all week.
I don't know who these people are.
All week long on this floor, tweeted out by journalists, tweeted out by activists. The simple statements like this: equity, privacy rights, bodily autonomy, healthcare decisions, freedom to choose, reproductive rights, basic civil rights. All those are euphemisms for she dies.
This feels like an SNL skit. What the fuck? This is the least convincing nonsense of the country. What the fuck? All of this is you. What the fuck? He actually said that. Is he? Dude, this guy has to be a plant. What? Really?
Tweeted out by activists. The simple statements like this: equity, privacy rights, bodily autonomy, healthcare decisions, freedom to choose, reproductive rights, basic civil rights. All those are euphemisms for she dies.
How? Privacy? What? Oh my God. Man, honestly, protecting this baby seems like more trouble than it's worth, man. If saying any of that is killing this baby, man, then like, I mean, he was like a really weak baby. He's like, if you don't have privacy rights, this baby dies. It feels like a hostage situation. I feel like this guy is basically just trapped this baby in his home, rigged it with explosives. It's like, if you guys enshrine Roe v. Wade, the baby dies. This is what this feels like. It feels like a fucking hostage situation. What's going on here? Dude, this is now my favorite Republican. What is his name? James Lake, I think?
Why are people so passionate about this?
I don't know. I don't know this baby, man.
Because it's not just a person in this conversation. She's in this conversation.
Dude, what the fuck? Dude, let it go.
Her future. Her opportunities. That's what this conversation is about.
What? No, I don't know who this baby. What's their name? I don't even know their name.
I'm being called a radical extremist because I believe she's valuable. Last weekend, when I was at home, ran into someone just out and about who wanted to talk to me about this issue about life, who was very passionate about the freedom to be able to take her life just hours before she's born.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Oh my God. What the fuck did this baby do? That you just run up to you to tell you, hey, I want to kill that baby. But you better not let me see that baby. I'm going to throw hands. Also, hours before they're born, if that's the circumstance, it's 100% a medical emergency of extreme proportions. If there is a situation where they're like, look, we have to perform this medical procedure that's going to mean I'm sorry. It's going to mean like the mom will die if they don't. That's like the only scenario where it's going to happen like that. And which means that he wants to restrict it and have it so not only does the fetus die, the baby dies, right? In his mind, but also the mom as well, just on principle.
And in that conversation, as we got back and forth on it, I asked him very simply, you know, it's federal law right now that we protect turtle eggs. Turtles, if you destroy a turtle egg, it's a federal offense with a very big fine. If you destroy an eagle egg, it's a very big offense with a federal fine. Do you find that odd? And I'm just in dialogue with this person. Do you find that odd that in federal law we protect an eagle egg, acknowledging that's an eagle inside that egg, and we protect a turtle egg, saying we acknowledge that's a turtle inside that egg, but we allow the destruction of children? And to my shock,
Periods are murder, man. Dude, the reason why we ban people destroy Dylan Civil Rights Burns baby killer doesn't want to press the button to save the baby on the Stanley Parable. Oh my God. That is it. The baby. That is actually this.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Okay. Anyway, back to this situation. The reason we protect turtle eggs and eagle eggs is because both turtles and eagles are endangered, and those eggs represent the potential for life. They aren't inherently life. If that was the case, every time we open up a chicken egg and put it on the grill, we're killing a chicken. We're not killing a chicken. We're killing the possibility that that egg could be a life one day.
They responded, well, turtles and eagles are endangered, so they should be protected. And I'm called the extremist.
Dude, you're on stage saying that if we don't ban abortion, we're gonna murder this baby. And that in comparing turtle eggs and fucking eagle eggs to abortion. Yes. You know what? I didn't know who you were before this conversation, but I feel pretty safe calling you extremist. 100%.
Because I happen to believe she's precious.
Oh my God, back to the
And
baby.
just because there are billions of other humans around, I don't think she's disposable.
What the fuck?
What are we really talking about? We're talking about the right for people to be able to speak out to their elected officials in every state.
Yeah, I'm waiting for him to like take out a knife and be like, "This is what Democrats want to do to Susan," just stabbing the baby. Like I don't like this is just complete, just performative nonsense, man.
And
I
for
can't.
each
This is
state
hard to
legislature
believe.
to decide on the issue of life. That's what we're talking about. If the draft opinion ends up being the final opinion from the court, it doesn't end abortion in America.
Hey, if this is the guy protecting children, why is it that I would not feel comfortable letting him near children?
It pushes it back out to every state and every legislative branch, including this one, to be able to have a state-by-state and a national dialogue on this simple question: when does life begin? Some people will say at conception, as I do, and quite frankly, as science also agrees with. That's cell division, that's unique DNA. All the makeups of her life and of my life and every other person in this room's life was there at cell division and conception in the earliest days. Every single cell in the woman's body is exactly the same, has the same DNA in it, except for those cells. Those cells are different. They have different DNA in them. Why are they different DNA in those particular cells than every other cell in the mom's body? Because that's a different body that's there. That's why.
Okay.
Some people believe that life begins at conception. Some people believe at heartbeat. Some people believe at 15 weeks, as the Mississippi law is challenging. Some people believe at viability. Others at birth. Why don't we have that conversation? Why don't we have that dialogue? Because quite frankly,
Finally, the baby's gone. Oh my God.
as I think about life,
Oh my God. Now he's gonna put another baby's life on the line. Who's this one? Now another one? Come on. How many pictures of babies does he have?
I look at this baby, and I look at this baby. For some reason, there's a whole bunch of people that say that baby's alive and that baby's tissue.
We don't even know, like, what. Well, they're both tissue, but the question of, like, whether one has life or not is whatever. Okay. It's hard to draw the line anywhere particular, but this is the most, like, boring, like, nonsensical answer, right? It was just like, well, it kind of looks like a baby in this picture, therefore it's life. Like, I don't even like what trimester is this? Like how long along in the pregnancy is it? When's the nerve? Is the heartbeat there? Like what? Like we don't like. You see, it's just it's just pictures, it's just visuals. We need more information.
And not alive. Some people would look at
Oh no, another baby.
this baby and this baby and would say, totally different, completely different. This baby's alive and needs to be protected, and that baby's just tissue. Which is so strange to me because that baby and that baby look a lot alike to me. I can count
He looks at a lot of pictures of babies, doesn't he?
fingers on both. In fact, as funny as it is, they're both in the same position, which, by the way, for my wife and I, we call this the touchdown position, how babies sleep with their hands up over their heads.
Wow, he knows a lot about babies.
Lots of babies do that, including mine did. This baby's in the touchdown position asleep, and look, this one is too. What's the difference between these two? I don't see this as alive in tissue. It looks a lot like a baby to me. And for that, I'm called the extremist and the radical. This baby sucks their thumb in the womb, responds to their mom's voice, feels pain, has unique fingerprints, has unique
What term is that? Look, we have no clue.
DNA, kicks around like crazy. What's the difference between those two? Time. That's it. That's the only difference. Just time. So what's been brought to the floor today? What's been brought to the floor today is this bill. This bill, the Women's Health Protection Act of 2022.
How long does this
Interestingly
guy
enough,
go?
that's the last time this bill
Oh my
uses the
God.
word woman. It doesn't use the word woman anytime after the title. It stops after that. I find that interesting.
Who cares?
Talk you through a couple of
What is that even? What? What did he think that was an important point? They only have woman in the title. Very interesting. You know, guys, this bill actually doesn't pass the Bechdel test, so oof, it's not getting my vote.
things that are in this bill. Section 2 of the bill defines abortion services and details it out, but also has a nice little note that's tucked into the definition here. It defines viability. It says the term viability means the point in a pregnancy at which, in the good faith and medical judgment of the treating healthcare provider, based on the particular facts of the case before the healthcare provider, there's a reasonable likelihood of sustained fetal survival outside the uterus with or without artificial support. Interestingly enough, it just basically says the doctor that's there, that's providing the abortion, can determine when the child's viable or not viable. We all get the joke on this. We know what this really means. This bill is not about viability. This bill is about whatever age, at whatever time, anyone wants to perform an abortion, at any moment.
Wait, so the doctor determines whether it's viable and that's bad? Why is that bad? And no, it didn't say that. What? It didn't say that, like, you can have an abortion whenever for whatever. At any moment. That's it literally whatever. The only part of the bill that says you can get an on-demand abortion is specifically when the mother's health is at risk, which the vast majority of Americans are fine with.
In my state, we're a state that has medical marijuana laws. They say it's not recreational marijuana, it's medical marijuana. You have to have a medical prescription from a doctor to be able to get it. So you know how you get it? The medical marijuana place actually has a doctor that you can just call that'll write a script to you, that'll write it for no matter what. You could say, my left toe hurts every other Thursday, and they would say, great, that's a medical condition, and you get the script for it. So we get the joke. If the
Who cares?
person who's actually selling the product is the one who's actually prescribing it, that means you could do it at any point. And this bill itself protects that individual, saying they can define viability and they're protected in their definition of it. So this bill is not about protecting children prior to viability. This bill is about aborting.
It literally says viability. Like, whatever.
at every single.
He's basically saying he believes doctors are basically going to be like 9 months, actually not viable. You're going to have a birth tomorrow. Ooh, normally that'd be viable, but your baby has like a too big of a toe, and so it's going to die. So yeah, abortion.
Stage of pregnancy, all the way up to the end, no matter how late that abortion is. The bill doesn't just stop there. Not only is there no limit to restriction on abortion, and it gives a statutory right to abortion, even though 71% of Americans believe there should be some limits to abortion, this bill...
The bill doesn't say there's no limits on abortion. It does not say that.
It says, no, there can't be. And then it reaches into every state and abolishes any restrictions that may be on abortion at all in any state. For instance, if a state says there has to be more information given to the woman, like an ultrasound, or just give information about this child, it abolishes that. So a state cannot inform the mom before the abortion.
Is this at all persuasive, like, to anyone?
That's prohibited. It also abolishes any other restriction on telemedicine. It abolishes any requirement any state has on safety, or healthy. It used to be that I heard the term from the pro-abortion crowd, safe, legal, and rare. This strips away the safe term on it and just says every restriction that's out there on safety has to be stripped away. No state can put a restriction out there on this. It takes away any right of any state to actually restrict abortions being carried out on minors without parental consent. It strips away any kind of waiting period laws.
Did you hear how easy it was to get a recreational weed card? I can tell you from people I know who had to get it in Maryland, it's not that easy. It isn't.
And it also strips away religious exemptions. What does that mean? If a doctor or physician says, I don't want to carry out an abortion, I believe that's really a child right there, not just a lump of tissue, then that doctor says, for their conscience sake, through this bill, I'm sorry, your conscience doesn't matter anymore. This strips away all conscience protections. In fact, what's interesting is the Religious Freedom Restoration Act was passed in 1993, and it's never, ever been accepted until this bill. This bill literally reaches into the Religious Freedom Restoration Act and says, your religious conscience doesn't matter. It's an abortion. Get over it. That's what this bill says. This is not some simple codifying Roe bill. This is telling the nation, I'm sorry, you may think that little girl
oh my God,
is a little girl and is valuable.
I actually can't. Really? We're back to this? He's doing it again.
We think she's disposable.
Just take out a little Sharpie and just like draw X's over her eyes. This is Joe Biden's America.
No. Listen, pro-life members here, like myself, have fought to make adoption more affordable, expand the child tax credit for the unborn, continue to provide assistance, food, health care to needy families, maternal health. We should all be working to support women in very difficult days. But she matters in this conversation.
No, she literally doesn't.
You can't lose track of that.
She doesn't matter because no matter what happens when it comes to the issue of abortion, this baby's born. Nothing's gonna happen to this fucking baby.
Mother Teresa once made the comment, if we accept that a mother can kill even her own child, how can we tell other people not to kill one another? You may say, well, that's Mother Teresa's opinion that that child is a child.
But it's born. It's not even a...
I would also tell you, it's Joe Biden's as well.
Oh, there it is, the Joe Biden's America. Now just do the X's.
Joe Biden also made the statement just last week, the Dobbs decision is about the ability to abort a child. To abort a child was President Biden's statement. I agree. The conversation right now on the floor is what's her future? What happens next will decide a lot.
Is this like his child? Like, is this his baby? Or is this just a random baby? I'm so. Is this a random baby, or is this specifically like his child? This is a random Google search baby. 1 second. This is what Joe Biden should do. Joe Biden should be like, oh yeah, you think that's okay? You think, oh yeah, no, this is what Bernie should do. Okay, Bernie's like, oh yeah, oh so that's your baby, huh?
I can
That's your baby?
assure you.
Well, I'm gonna show you a different perspective, huh? Here's my baby. Here's the baby I found. I say we take them out before they take us out. Just go all in. Just go all in with these pictures, man.
I'm going to speak out the rights for every single child. And will declare again, every child is valuable. If people call me a radical for believing children are valuable, so be it. But I think it tells us a lot about our culture that I'm the radical one because I believe she has a hope.
Oh my God. Nobody. Bernie's like, that comes out. I don't believe she has a future. I think she's going to die on crack. Like, what do you think the...
With that, I yield the floor.
Dude, do you think I could get... Never mind. I shouldn't even say that out loud. You know what I was going to say out loud? He's like, hey, maybe I should rate... Maybe I should get streamers to send me pictures of their children, and then I can rate them from worst to best. And have a child tier list. And whoever gets the bottom... Never mind.